Death Battle has had some amazing episodes, some bad ones, and some that use booster gold. While it's not amazingly common, all the seasons normally have something in common. A filler episode. And since I'm bored out of my skull and have nothing to do, you're getting a ranking of the season with the most filler episodes, Season 2. This will be 2 separate videos. These videos are fun, but if you expect me to one-shot this, then you're insane. Or maybe I'm insane. Who knows? Anyway, let's get into this ranking already.
Oh shit, I think Luigi's gonna fucking...
Luigi vs. Tails is my least favorite episode of the show to date. This episode genuinely can't piss me off further. It's so one-sided in Tails' favor, and the conclusion couldn't show that better. Luigi struggling to lift a large radish causes me physical pain and I hate it. The animation was useless too. Tails got in so many big hits, but every time Luigi landed a hit, Tails just slightly reacted and kept moving. But my least favorite part of this is the death. When Luigi is finally doing something in this episode, Tails places a bomb behind him and blasts him towards a pipe. He then pins him and Luigi goes for a hammer swing. He gets impaled by the magic hand, and holy shit, it is nightmarish to watch and hear Luigi dying. It's completely heartbreaking after Luigi tried so hard but just got annihilated in the end. This episode is one that I hate with every fiber of my being, and it will never be overthrown for my least favorite episode of the show. Also, they didn't do the Mario.
Are we human?
Beast vs. Goliath is shit. That's genuinely it. The reason they're fighting contradicts the animation. The analysis sucks. Everything is shit except for the death and the animation quality, which are both alright. Moving on.
And the Sand Guardian, Guardian of the Sand. Poseidon quivers before him!
Why does my second favorite Atla character get cooked so hard? Gaara vs. Toph sucks bad. The animation is slow and boring. The 180 rule is broken multiple times. Gaara's sand effects are lazy. And the death is just not good at all. It's implied to be brutal as it zooms up to avoid us seeing the brutal crushing Tophas to Gaara. But it looks the exact same when it zooms back down. The only thing it does better than Beast vs. Goliath is it actually feels like a death battle. Either way, that's not how it's done. Haha, get it, funny reference. Ivy vs. Orchid is an episode. Moving on.
Shit! Language!
Batman vs. Captain America didn't need to happen. But at the same time it did. This is an episode that I just don't care about at all. It sort of feels like it's appealing to Batman fans, and it is a little annoying. Despite this, it's still not bad. The quality is good, the death is solid, and some of the moments are enjoyable. I haven't watched this in ages due to it being banned in my country, but I enjoyed looking back on it. Still kinda boring though.
Not today, Roboto!
Fulgore vs. Sector is pretty solid. The sprites mesh well, the action is enjoyable, and watching Fulgore charge his reactor was intense. The struggle Fulgore has while escaping the compactor was intense, but after that, we get a really boring ultra combo and a mediocre finish. That's it. Pretty anticlimactic, but still an episode I consider above average.
You should hear the boxing glove arrow when it hits. It makes this kind of sound.
Green Arrow vs. Hawkeye is alright. It's got some parts of the animation, like the arrow clash at the start, which is visually cool, and the trick arrows used made it really interesting to watch at points. The boxing arrow gag was especially funny to me. But the rest of this episode is just nothing to me. The analysis has nothing that I remember, and the death is really predictable and weak. Of course the adamantium arrow would beat the diamond one, but after that, I have no idea what the arrow did. It just kind of flew past Green Arrow and a blood splatter happened a second later. It's not bad, but it's definitely not good.
Asshole.
Shit! I'm finally moving on from the boring episodes. These episodes range from 6 out of 10 to 8 out of 10. And the worst of the good episodes IMO is Ragna vs. Sol. The action is consistently fast-paced and the sword combat is cool. But it got repetitive after a while, despite the animation only being 2 minutes long and the death stinked. It's another kill where the user dies via flashlight. The silhouettes didn't help with that either. There was literally no interesting part in the whole 30 seconds worth of silhouettes. Also, Sol should have fought Daisy from Mario. This is so sad. The funny thing is, the analysis felt better than the animation for some reason. I don't know, but I also don't care. I just want to finish this ranking. Also, I forced myself to put the next one here. Haha, get it, I'm hilarious.
You underestimate my power!
Vader vs Doom is pretty enjoyable. The start of the fight is fun. I liked Vader just yeeting a ship onto the Doombot. I don't know why, but I find it both really cool and really funny. Also, Vader's suit powering down was pretty cool, and him dying in lava is a nice callback. It's also a little surprising that Ben actually treated the prequels with some respect. I'm glad he did, but this episode is down here for a reason. Or reasons. While I liked the actual death, Vader losing was super obvious for a full 30 seconds or so. Also, not counting the Doom bots, Vader landed one whole hit in the almost 4-minute animation. And while I like the start, Vader is really hard to see until he gets teleported. Also, the analysis was boring as fuck. To the next one we go.
Master Bison, he's our hero, gonna take pollution down to 0.
Shao Kahn vs Bison is fun. The analysis is okay with some jokes that got a slight chuckle. The animation was mostly good, even if I don't think the sprites mesh that well together. But the quality is still good, and it's really fast-paced throughout the whole fight. That is until Final Bison comes out and gets stomped. That's pretty lame, bro. When Final Bison came out, it was literally only 10 seconds long until the death started. That sucked. Though it's made up by the Captain Planet rendition by Boomstick. This is now a 10 out of 10.
And know that we have given it the unofficial name of Sam vs. Bob.
Samus vs Boba Fett 2 is nice. It's a good tribute to a good man, and it's a lot more smooth than the original. The death now makes sense, the animation uses more of their abilities in more creative ways, and the choreography is really good, just like all of Torian's fights. Although, it has weird moments. Samus got hit by the bomb, but the thing closest to the bomb was the only thing not affected. And the pistol should not be able to freeze Fett like that. Also, Samus is a Jedi confirmed. This is so shocking. Star Wars, The Rise of Samus. I'm glad this was made because the original, while still having some charm, is ridiculously dated. This was a nice upgrade to a classic, and I would happily watch it again to kill some time.
Nobody suspects the butt guns!
Mega Man vs Astro Boy is really cool. It uses a lot of the abilities that the characters have, and it remains enjoyable for the whole animation. The butt guns, while obvious, still got a laugh out of me because of the absolute amazing reaction on Mega Man. He wasn't expecting this 9-year-old looking ass bitch to pull machine guns literally out of his ass. Although, I've heard that the stuff they used for Astro Boy is complete bullshit, and I've checked around a few of my friends and they've all said that it's also bullshit. Add in the weak death and this just squeaks into the 8 out of 10 category, and clinging on for dear life. It's still good though.
Swords!
Guts vs Nightmare is one of the most wildly disagreed episodes in whether it's good or bad. Everyone says that this is a love or hate episode, and it's impossible to be neutral on it. With this placement, you should be able to tell that I disagree. The animation is really good, and it shows off Guts' complete ignorance to the damage he's taking, just like in his series. The combat aspect is quite slow and clunky, but I still like it because it somehow really fits these two. Nightmare's death is really brutal and I love it, but the Soul Edge's death is really boring and weak. Although I can't complain because it's literally a sword. Also, everyone says these guys are out of character, but I don't know them at all and I don't really care. It's not amazing, but I still like it. Cinder Killer Instinct is ironically based.
I'm going to blow you out of the water!
Funny big titty joke because Boomstick like titty. Haha, get it, LMAO, haha, I'm so based and hilarious. Yang vs Tifa is good. It uses Tifa's magic really well, and the dolphin blow is base. The choreography is really well done and the ending is surprisingly great. Tifa beating the ever-loving shit out of Yang until her semblance explodes and turns the tide is honestly amazing. And the next snap is so brutal with the great sound design. But there is a few problems. Tifa has a shit model and Yang's hair is incapable of staying still. Also, while it's not, this feels like a Ruby advertisement with Yang winning and the Volume 3 poster at the end. But it is nowhere near the bad section for me and never will be.
Well, this defies all logic!
Tigers vs Epione is one of the funniest episodes in the season. It somehow manages to fit in hilarious moments in a badass fight. The voice acting through the whole episode was great, except for Saba's last line. It was absolutely fucking amazing and hilarious. Haha, I fooled you. The death was really good too. Tommy's death scream was a shot through the heart of my childhood and I love it. The only thing that keeps this here is because I just think the rest were better. Also, if I see one more joke about Noin and Zex, then I'm going to scream until I shatter all my windows.
Fire! Come on!
Fox vs. Bucky is honestly great. The analysis was really enjoyable to watch and quite funny, which is always great. The animation is flat out fantastic. Bucky O'Hare is now my favorite character because he killed one of my least favorite characters of all time. Steve Fox is now second. Fuck you, Slippy. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be talking about the fight. The animation ran really smoothly and every scene fit into the next with ease. I really like the air fight between the two. It kept me excited through the whole thing until Bucky knocks Fox to the ground. Also, right after he does that and after Fox loses his amputants, he goes ahead and delivers one of the best deaths I've seen in this season, only beaten by maybe one or two. And for the first time, I'm actually taking note of the conclusion. While fucking nobody even knew who Bucky was, Death Battle treated him with actual dignity, saying that Fox only won because the R-Wing beats the righteous indignation and because Fox had better experience. This episode is great in every way except for Fox's sprite, which is a little blurry. But considering that's my only complaint, that shows how good this episode really is. That's it for this half. I need to get my beauty sleep to create the next part. I can't promise it anytime soon, but I can promise that it will happen. Let it be known that I didn't make this on a PC. I did all the editing, music, clips and the rest on a phone. Also, parts 24 to 17 were done while I had a case of hives. It made the process more difficult, but I pulled through enough to get it finished. It took forever, but this is the payoff. Hope you enjoy and I'll be back in a while with part 2.